cancel anything. We're moving forward and just doing things like what Bill's doing here, incredibly innovative and fun and great. And so we're doing it virtually over the 12 till 1:30 time slot, the 20th to the 23rd. So it's going to be phenomenal. If you want to join, you're more than welcome.
We've got some admirals presenting, and the C-suite and Hero Club. C-suite started in Dallas at the Fairmont Hotel in 2014. Jeff Hazlett and myself inviting people, and it's just turned into something where there's over close to 500,000 C-suiters and several hundred here.
It's Bill is, needless to say, part of the family, and so are all of you. So, the other thing I'm really excited about, Bill, I can't even remember if you and I got to talk about this, is that we're launching the C-Suite Network Veterans Business Leaders Council. And so it turns out there isn't a group like that, and our veterans are going to be leading the charge and building an executive group for veterans, and just couldn't possibly be more proud and excited about that.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you get information on that, Tricia?
What I can do, if I'll put my email here, and then just send me a note. If you are a veteran or anyone that you think should be part of that, please don't hesitate to reach out. I called my head of membership the day I came up with that idea, and I said, I did something I'm going to be proud of on my deathbed today, because I just have so much respect. And I was doing my videos before this call out in my backyard by my flag, and I'm actually being sworn in as an American citizen as soon as this is over. So I'm
wow,
quadruply proud.
Well, you're at 130 now.
Good morning, Brian. I didn't see you there. I just got a text from Brian Searcy. And thank you for your service.
Michael is looking for more information on the Veteran C-Suite group.
My apologies. I put my email address to Daniel instead of everybody. There we go. Okay. If you email me, I'll make sure that I put you in touch. Brian just texted me, and I'm just drafting the email to put Brian in touch with our leader for that. He's obviously a veteran, and he's fantastic. So really happy to connect anybody. And the battleship invitation is above. we have 2 rear admirals, a commander. We have the first female Tomcat pilot. She's phenomenal. It's going to be a really great, and then breakout sessions and discussions and so on.
You should.
We'll be starting in just a moment, folks. We've got some technical issues. I'll correct that. Bill has a technical issue.
We knew you didn't, Jan. We knew you didn't. By the way, you guys, say hello to my friend Katie. She's with the Plano Chamber of Commerce, and she's a first timer with us.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hi, Katie.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. One of the challenges I have not been able to master in terms of Zoom, because we do these very large meetings, is you can't see everybody all at once. So you have to
Right.
flip between the screens, or you can pin whoever the speaker is, but then you don't get to see everybody. So there's 3 red dots at the top right-hand side of each picture. So you can chat with that person, so it'll go to that person right away. And you can ask to pin the speaker, or go to speaker view. But it's a good problem to have. There's lots of great people here. I do have one other give. We have a little get together on Friday evening from 5 till whenever. People are welcome to bring drinks, water to scotch, I always say. And we just welcome in our new C-Suite network members. So I can put a link in for that if you want to learn more about Battleship or any of the other things that are going on in C-Suite. I'll grab that link for you as well. You're welcome to join. We figured we need things to celebrate together now.
Hey, Jeff Crilly, while we're waiting, do you have any words of wisdom?
Oh my goodness. I don't know about words of wisdom.
Well, how are you getting your people in the news right now? How about that?
So it's like unseemly to tell people how well you're doing during a downturn, but our business is up 20% because we got into broadcasting at a time when everybody needs to communicate. And this whole getting people on the news thing, a lot of the people I've been talking to for the last few years are home watching TV, and they're seeing their competition getting interviewed, and they're pissed off. And so they will call me up and they'll say, I can't believe they're interviewing that guy. That guy doesn't know anything. Let's get going. So it's been a blessing to us, but yeah. How about you?
Yeah, now you're putting me on the spot. But I don't think that's bragging, actually. I mean, I'm super thrilled that you're 20% up, and that just means that more people are along for your ride, which is great because it's their ride too. So
Well, thank you.
Thank you for helping small businesses and big businesses stay afloat and thrive.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, I'm going to jump in here and just say, Jeff, I really enjoyed your interview with Lisa with the Thorn Network. That was fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. A friend of mine, in fact, if anybody on the call wants to send me guest ideas, a friend of mine is Jed Gifford. Do you know Jed?
Yes.
So Jed was on my show a couple months ago, and he just reached out to me out of the blue, and I think he's thinking about starting up a show, and I said, you know how you could help me? He says, how's that? I said, just send me people who would want to be interviewed because, you know, I'm doing 2 Jeff Curley shows a day now. Sometimes I did 3 yesterday. So I could use guests. And so he sent me a list of about 20 really good ones. And Lisa was on there. And so I just emailed them all over the weekend and said, hey, you know, I'm a friend of Jed. He said you'd be a great guest. So I'm interested. I'm meeting some really fascinating people. But thank you.
Well, if you're going to have technical difficulties, you want to have them before you get into the meeting. My computer just shut down on me because I was sitting here looking at it. And so I think we're ready to go, Jan.
Okay. Good morning. I'm Jan Klodner. Make sure my mute is everything is working here.
We can hear you.
You can hear me good. I'm Jan Klodner, Bill Wallace's longtime friend and business partner in Success North Dallas. This month's virtual is a first for SND. Please make sure your audio is muted. And if you're using a mobile device for today's program, unless you're going to remain stationary, please turn your video off. If you want to comment on anything during the presentation, please use the chat function. You can send a chat message to the hosts or participants privately or to the whole group. Also, following the meeting, the room will be left open for 20 minutes for virtual networking, kind of like we did in the beginning, another SND first.
For the past 3 years, on the third Wednesday of every month, Success North Dallas has had the best of the best in speakers from all over the world. These speakers come not to be paid, but because of the people in the room, the people who have founded 97 companies, created over 1,000 jobs, and turned out 7 Ernst & Young Entrepreneurs of the Year.
And now, please welcome Bill Wallace, founder and CEO, Success North Dallas.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is going to be a day of first. We're going to be doing many things differently. We're going to be doing many firsts for Success North Dallas. And when you think about Success North Dallas, the logo really tells the whole story. The interconnecting C's, well, that's what we do. That's how we do it. Connecting the right people for the right reasons at the right time. You know, our qualifications for membership are very simple. Be a success in your own eyes, honor your commitments, and be a giver. And I want to welcome all the new attendees. We have some people on this call from three different countries. We have people that have never been to a Success North Dallas meeting. So we do more than just meet the third Wednesday of every month. So I would encourage you to go to successnorthdallas.com and sign up for our emails to stay in the know. We do happy hours, we do outreaching events, we help some kids get through college, we have a young executives group. So it's amazing all of the things that have come out of this organization that I started in 1988. And it's named Success North Dallas because that's where I wanted to sell insurance. And I thought it would last 3 to 5 years. I'd pay my dues. But then something started happening. The big guy upstairs got a hold of it and turned this thing into something just extraordinary that takes my breath away many, many times. I want to say thank you to the team. This doesn't happen just by myself and 1 or 2 people. There's a whole team of people. You can see their names on the screen. And I just want to say this from the bottom of my heart. We could not do this without you. There's no words that can express the depth of the gratitude I have for these extraordinary individuals. So take a moment, support them in their businesses because they all are volunteers, just like they have supported Success North Dallas. And every month we do something called In the News. And since we didn't have a meeting in March, I'm going to tell you about a little bit of the February stuff. But in the news really came true in February because we made CBS national news as we presented the Dallas Police Officer of the Year for the 18th year. Unbelievable crowd. A dear friend of mine, Ro Diaz, a Cuban-American painter that's known all over the world, joined us at the meeting. During the meeting, he actually painted a picture entitled Back the Blue, commemorating all of the police officers of the year. And you can see a picture of it on your screen right now. And that now hangs in the Dallas Police Department headquarters. And once we get through the COVID-19, we will actually have a celebration down there and formally present the picture to them. Also, our S&D Young Executives. We started this last year just to bring in the new blood, to bring in the young people. And it meets every second Wednesday at 5. If you know a young executive or somebody who would benefit from this dynamic group, and believe me, it is a dynamic group, have them reach out. You know, or if there's some young executive that's looking for their next opportunity that's been caught up in this pandemic, just have them email youngexecutives@successnorthdallas.com. And also, there are opportunities for mentoring. And as you all know, 85 of our members have mentored juniors to doctoral candidates in formalized mentoring programs. And lastly, we have a new website. Last Friday, we rolled out our new Success North Dallas website because as we looked at this pandemic, we looked at all of the things that we haven't had on our SAGE list, those goals. And so we've started implementing many of those right now. And I have to thank Brad Parnell, Steadfast Results, now RP1, and Matt Kretschmann's Endure Marketing. That's IN like LinkedIn, Endure Marketing. So take a look at the website. Let us know what you think. Let us know if there's something we missed. And also during the meeting, don't hesitate to pick up your cell phone, hit one of our hashtags, and let other people know what you're doing and the fact that you're doing it and spending your time with us. There's another group of people I need to thank, and they're our partner members. And this is a group of businesses that came alongside of us when we turned 25 years old. We'd never had a corporate member. All memberships had been individual, based on be a success in your own eyes, honor your commitments, and be a giver. And we started this as a way to keep our dues down and to continue Success North Dallas on for hopefully another 25, 30, or even more years now with our young executives. And so they're listed on your screen, but they've made a huge difference coming alongside of us financially. And I want to say thank you deeply to all of these companies that you're seeing flash before you. So again, support these businesses, please, like they've supported Success North Dallas. And now we do a quote. And I found a quote and I modified it a little bit to fit where we are today. But that quote is, on particularly rough days, like the ones we've been dealing with, we need to remind ourselves that our track record for getting through these days is 100%. And that's pretty darn good. So with that, I want to introduce my friend, Jeff Crilly. Jeff called me up. We met in a very strange manner. He called me up and he said, I've been told if I want to write a book in Dallas, I need to know you. And I kind of, okay. And we got to know each other while he was a sports journalist, a reporter for Fox. And he wrote a book, a fantastic book. And he started to speak. He couldn't get paid for speaking while he was a reporter, but he could sell the books. And lo and behold, after 25 years as a journalist, he retired from TV news and he started the country's first ever all-journalist public relations firm called Real News PR. And that's real news before there ever was a fake news. And he's been interviewed on national TV, all sorts of media. Like I said, from CNN to Good Morning America, he's been a part of all that. He's also been recognized by his peers with dozens of national awards, including the Emmy, Edward R. Murrow Award. I love this one though, the best TV reporter in the state. So ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome my dear friend, Jeff Crilly. Jeff?
Thank you very much, Bill. And it's an honor to introduce Jill Lublin. You're in for a treat. I've had the honor of sharing the stage with Jill a couple of times, and she's a remarkable speaker. A little bit on Jill. When we're not on lockdown, she does more than 200 speeches a year. That's amazing. She speaks on a wide range of subjects, including publicity, networking, kindness, and influence marketing. In addition to her speaking engagements, she trains and consults with executives and sales teams, and as well as marketing departments of Fortune 500 companies. Her innovative influence in marketing and public relations consistently increases the bottom line for her clients. Among her best-selling books, Networking Magic, Guerrilla Publicity, Get Noticed, Get Referrals, and The Profit of Kindness. Without any further ado, my friend, Jill Lublin.
Thank you so much, Jeff. And Bill, I'm so delighted to be here and so grateful to all of you to really support me. And I'm just wondering if we could actually just go to screen for a minute. And let me just see maybe who's on would be fantastic. And I just want to tell you that I am so grateful to have an opportunity to actually put on my shoes today. You see, we have been in lockdown for 30 days here in Northern California, and I'm getting antsy a bit, but I'm enjoying it, and I'm actually really enjoying the opportunity to be with so many of you in different ways, right? And I just think it's so much fun. I also want to share with you that actually during just the start, literally, of the wonderful COVID virus, this is where I was. For those of you who can actually see your screen, this is me holding the top of the pyramids in Giza, Egypt. Yes, I was actually speaking in Egypt and was so blessed to receive a Woman of Excellence Award. And so the conference also included sightseeing at the pyramids. Like, how cool is that, right? And it was a fascinating, shall we say, adaptability test for how many times I actually had to redo my flights. I was headed to the London Book Fair to help people get international book deals and all kinds of fun. And so I literally changed my trip 4 different times and arrived into the Bay Area literally just in time to be locked down. So I guess if you're going to do, the last hurrah, Egypt's a great place to go, don't you think? So I just wanted to share that because I always find that a bit of an interesting irony. And I really, it's interesting this time, Jeff, I'm with you. It's a fascinating time around being able to really get your name out there and increase your visibility in ways that people can't even imagine. And so, Jeff, I'm really glad you said that because I'm going to underline that comment and say to all of you listening here today that I got good news for you. This could be your moment. This could be your moment to increase your visibility, to get your thought leadership out in a way that perhaps you've never thought of before, to open up new possibilities for you to create that visibility factor that you've been longing for, and to pave a new way for yourself. So here's what I want to say. There's some good news out there, and I'm going to bring it to you today. I'm going to also help you with some very specific ways that you can get your name out there in simple, easy solutions so that your well, I call it guerrilla publicity, really kicks in. And my friend P.T. Barnum, if he were alive today, he said it best, and that is, a terrible thing happens without publicity. Nothing. So with that, I want to lay a context for what publicity is, because in my world, publicity happens from the minute you walk out your door. I saw many of you very dynamic this morning, interacting, engaging, being of value and benefit to each other right away on the call. That's great publicity. Being of service, whether you're sitting in your house, which, by the way, I love the comment about you went bar hopping last night from the living room, and all over. I heard a great joke about on Easter, they couldn't decide which which church they were going to go to, the living room or the bedroom, right? And I just think we have to know that this is a world in which how you are right now is also public relations, and it is a great time to serve, and it is important. And I also want to create some context for what is publicity, right? Because publicity equals high return on investment. And what I love about it, and I've been working with people for over 25 years in all kinds of businesses, and I'm very clear that it increases your prospects, that it gives you more sales, that it increases your trust, it gives you more credibility, it gives you more visibility, it gives you more clients. Who doesn't want that, right? It certainly makes you more money, and it gives you more exposure in the marketplace. And I only mean the good kind. I only mean the good kind. And what I really want is for you to get clear today on what your message is. Because here's the deal about message. You know, if you look at that word on the screen or scribble it on your notepad, and I do hope you're taking notes today, because my intention is to give you a lot of content in a short period of time that you can be armed and wonderfully dangerous with new PR skills that will support you to get and gain more visibility for your business, for your name recognition. And I also want to say, for those of you who can't necessarily switch your message for right now to, let's call it COVID virus, right? Then perfect. I want you planning 3, 6, and 9 months ahead, which in PR world terms is so important. You know, long lead magazines are planning 9 months ahead right now. And in fact, I remember when I wrote Guerrilla Publicity, which is now in its 3rd edition, that what was so amazing is that, for instance, talking to the editor of Entrepreneur magazine, she said to me, you know, Jill, for the June issue of Entrepreneur, our production is finished in March. Our writers are finished in January. Now, my friends, that's 6 months ahead, which means you are pitching them as a small business owner. You're pitching literally 9 months ahead, and in some cases, 12 months ahead. So I think that's really important right now. Realize this is a beautiful planning time while we're in quarantine for what's ahead in your PR. You know, I have my parenting experts with great stories out in the media about, oh my gosh, how do we not pull our hair out as we're raising our children and homeschooling them during quarantine time. I've got my relationship experts out with talking about, well, how do I live with my spouse who I never used to see, and now all of a sudden we're 24 hours, you know, in quarantine together? What do we do? How do we communicate better? You know, so there's all kinds of stories that can be retooled, and I want you to think about, in your story, could you be retooling, recreating, reconnecting with your story, and also repivoting your story? You know, with my publicity, I'm knocking it out of the park with new webinars called How to Create Visibility in Troubled Times, right? What are you teaching people that people need to know about that is troubled times? And Jeff, thank you for connecting guerrilla publicity to my message. I so appreciate that. So the issue is, we want you to answer this question, and we are going to do breakout rooms. And if you haven't done breakout rooms, they're so much fun. I love breakout rooms. So I want you to answer this question, all right? And here it is. So let's go back first to the message. Look at that word. In the word message is me. In the word message is sage. In the word message is me, sage. All right, in the word message is also mess. That's what I want you to avoid, that your message is clear, focused, concise, precise, and that you are the experts who solve problems in the market today. In fact, I want you to answer this question. The problem today is, right? And then that you're going to answer that, the problem today. Like I would say, the problem today is 4 out of 5 businesses will go out of business because you have no clue how to create publicity without spending a fortune. That's the problem, my friends. It's simple. I want you to keep it focused. If you can, use statistics. And then I want you to give 3, count them 3, if you can, solutions. And those solutions are telling people what to do. I want you to give appetizers, not full meals, because we want them to call you, connect with you, and really be in relationship to what you're saying. So give value, give benefit. When I interviewed the editor at Fast Company for Guerrilla Publicity, she said, I want people to give value and benefit because that's for her readers, right? And in fact, that was consistent with everybody I talked to, was to give value and benefit. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to say what the problem today is, and then give 3 solutions. And I'll model this for you right now. The problem today is 4 out of 5 businesses will go out of business because you have no clue how to create publicity without spending a fortune. I want to give you 3 guerrilla publicity tips today for how to get your message in the media. The first way to get noticed is to create your ooh, ah factor. The second way is to create the I've heard of you somewhere syndrome. And the third way is focus on networking magic and show up in your communities at least twice a month for name and face recognition. Now, my friends, normally, if I were with you, I'd actually ask you, what did I do in my message? But hey, I'm going to spare you that. And I'm just going to tell you, here's what I did in my message. I actually mentioned every book title in my message. Now, you do not have to have a book to do this, and I'll tell you how in just a moment. But I said, I'm going to give you 3 guerrilla publicity tips today. And by the way, for any of my authors here, please make sure your books are visible. And then I said, if you want to get noticed, this is my referral book on McGraw-Hill, right? We don't even have to say the whole book title. And then I said, focus on networking magic and show up in your communities at least twice a month for name and face recognition. And that, my friends, is my books, right? And so check that out. Now, for those of you who don't have books, no problem. I do this with all kinds of clients. You can put your consulting programs in, your coaching programs in, the name of your business perhaps, one word from something that you talk about a lot. Put one word in is what I want you to focus on right now. So we are going to go to breakout rooms, and we're going to put, Mary Beth, I think we agreed about 5 people in each room, and I want some of you to actually pick a timer right away, pick a timer, and then I want you to go and each do 1 minute, just 1 minute of your message, practicing it in front of people. Go around, and then if you have time, please give feedback to each other. I just want to make sure each one of you gets a moment to talk. All right, we're going to go to breakout rooms. What you need to do is press join on your computer as the message comes up. We'll see you in just a bit.
Good morning, Jill.
Good morning. And for those of you who didn't, for whatever reason, go into breakout rooms, let me just say, why don't you take a look at what is your problem solution and create a message that matters, which answer the question the problem today is, and then focus in on giving 3 solutions, I think would be really super. So for whatever reason, some of you maybe didn't end up in breakout rooms, that would be a great thing to do right in this time, and just focus in on it would be super. And we'll be coming back in just a few minutes with everybody. So, and also, you know, if you'd like, happy to address any issues you might have. The sun is rising over here in California. For those of you who didn't get in the breakout room, let me just say, I think it's morning. Good, Kathleen. I like the logo, the backgrounds. You're all looking good there. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can't talk much, so you want to have your information behind you, like your books.
Exactly. Good thing you realize that. That's a real key to success is on Zoom is why you're not there, have breakout and backgrounds that actually support who you are and what you're doing. Fabulous. And Mary Beth, we'll go straight to the slides once I come back, okay, for the ooh-ah. Thank you. Just a little FYI for those of you who are here and maybe didn't press breakout rooms. So we got about 2 minutes. So please make sure you do zoom in on this, literally, and create, what is that message? What would be solutions? You're welcome to chat about it too. In the chat is fabulous. Please let us know what's your message. Welcome back, as some of you are coming back. And I hope that you've had a great time in your chat rooms. I know I've had a great time chatting with some of those who, for whatever reason, didn't make it into the chat rooms. And I also know that many of you have been busy with your messaging and connecting and creating that visibility factor and making each other happy, shall we say. Mary Beth, can you please confirm verbally, are people back in so I can know that? Would be wonderful.
Looks like the rooms are still closing, or people are coming back to the main room as they finish up their discussions, because we still have quite a few people still in the breakout rooms.
Beautiful, beautiful. It'll close them down in about 50 seconds, right?
I believe so.
Okay, great. Just let me know when that's up and we'll keep moving. And I hope that it's been wonderful for all of you as you got to network virtually. It's a great way to network virtually. And I support all of you in doing this, you know, with your own kind of wonderful, you know, wonderful ways to get your visibility building back out there. Okay, so I'll wait just like another maybe 10 seconds. Mary Beth, will you let me know as the screen's populating, and we will rock on with another great way to get your visibility going. There's so many of you. I love this. It's like, you know, this is a great way to do meetings and actually have so many more people than sometimes you're able to serve. And that's what I'm noticing about this time. It's dynamic for actually creating even more engaging visibility. All right, are we back?
Not yet.
Because according to my timer, it's about that time. Right, take a sip of that tea, coffee, breakfast, which I haven't even had yet, but do whatever you need to do. I know somebody was asking where the bagels are, and I think Bill's providing them as far as I know. So we'll feed them. It wasn't asking us to come back, Mary Beth?
Okay, I'm trying to message Bill.
Okay. Yeah, it should have been asking to come back. Thank you, Laura, for letting us know. Mary Beth, we have a lot more people back in though.
Not quite.
Okay.
I'm not sure if Rex and I did the right thing. We were in a breakout by ourselves and we felt like we were maybe missing out on something. So we jumped back into the main meeting.
Yeah, I think for whatever reason, the breakout rooms didn't quite get handled in the way they normally are. So hopefully people are just jumping back in. And yeah, thank you, Mary. Oh, Misty, excuse me. Thank you for letting us know. And hopefully people will just jump back in. Would be great.
Okay. Thank
Mary
you,
Beth,
Bill.
oh, you bet. Mary Beth, maybe you can let Jeff know or Bill know to just bring everybody back in. Would be fabulous. And Mary Beth, give me the verbal go ahead when we are ready to go ahead would be fabulous. So why don't you guys, as some of you are here, go ahead and just verbally tell me what happened there, and then we'll go on with the presentation as more people are back in the room.
Jill, before we do that, am I supposed to close the room, or is it going to
Oh,
close automatically?
yeah, no, Jan, let's close the room right now would be fabulous.
Okay,
Yes.
good. I'll close the room.
Yeah, and then I'll just move on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's going to close in 56 seconds. Gotcha.
Beautiful. Oh, thank you so much.
Now
Yeah.
I know. Learning here,
Okay.
Jill.
All right, no problem. I'm glad. So we got 30 seconds. Somebody help me out. What did you learn about your message?
I didn't get it
Well,
breakout. It just knocked me off. I was in room 23.
Yeah, so Taylor's saying we enjoyed our breakout. Excellent. Let me just hear from someone who did focus on their message. Share with us, what did you get for your message?
We want to start with our awe first to capture
Yes.
the audience rather than build up to it.
Beautiful. Thank you. Jean is how you say your name?
Jeannie.
Jeannie, thank you, Jeannie. It's perfect because that is exactly what you want to do, is create that that fantastic, yes, it's important now to zoom in fast. And I'm so glad you got that, because this is what's so key is in media, there's not a lot of time to, shall we say, drag your feet on your message. You got to go right in real fast, right? And so that's really important.
I have
Jan,
to
how are we doing with, go ahead, Jeannie.
credit Paula on our team, who that was her advice to all of us.
Beautiful. Great. I love that. Jan, how are we doing? Is everybody back in?
Everybody is back into the meeting, and I believe we're all here. So
Beautiful. And welcome back, everyone. So glad you're all here. I hope that those of you who are in breakout rooms got great discussions going, and those of you out of breakout rooms focused in on your message. Because one of the things about your message is you have to create your ooh, ah factor. In fact, I spelled it out on the slide just in case you can't. And what do I mean by that? Well, let me tell you about Ryan. Ryan is one of my clients who, frankly, is an instructional designer and came to me after a speech and said, I really want to work with you. I'm like, Ryan, what do you do? He told me he does instructional design, and I thought, that's not that interesting. What is that? And he told me, and I'm like, uh-oh, we got to find a new story. Well, one thing God has graced me with is the ability to translate people's messages. And so when I asked him his story, he said that he'd been fired from a corporate job. His wife was pregnant with their third child on the way, and he just bought a big house with a big mortgage payment. I'm like, oh my God, Ryan, what'd you do? What'd you do? He said, well, I started my own business, and online within 24 hours, I had 7 people across the Bay Area, in this case, doing instructional design. I thought, well, now that's interesting. So you know what, with Ryan, because we changed his story, we were able to get him in the San Francisco Business Times. Imagine what that would be for you, getting in the Dallas Morning Journal or the Business Journal or any of that for you, right? We got him in Mac Home Journal, the Entrepreneur magazine. Picture what it would be like to get into Entrepreneur and what that would do for your business. In fact, Ryan's PR results got him featured in major national magazines. His business revenues increased over 40% using publicity marketing strategies. And one placement in the Chinese Times resulted in over $7,000 in consulting income. Ryan launched his business from zero and laid off to a thriving consulting business using the power of publicity and using what I really want you to think about now is everything you've got. How could you use everything you've got? And let me share with you how I used it with the Profit of Kindness. And what happened there, this is my new book out, The Profit of Kindness. And what as I sat with what's the message, we sent out a press release because, frankly, America's been divided. And we sent out a press release about the divided states of America. That resulted in 7 major Fox News interviews in the first 10 days, CBS morning shows, 75 radio and podcast interviews and counting, article placements. I've been in Inc. magazine twice, Forbes magazine twice, CEO magazine. And in fact, the logos that you see at the bottom of the screen are featured on profitofkindness.com. Those were a third of the logos that have happened. And so what I want you to know is that with particularly Entrepreneur Magazine, for example, and different places, what they want you to know is that your message matters and that you need to be on top of things by just saying yes, by just saying yes. And I think that's really a key to just say yes with how do you take your message, put it out there in a way that's using everything you've got. So for some of you, like my Christian clients go to Christian media, my Hispanic clients go into Hispanic media, African American media. Keep thinking about how you could take your message and literally just say yes to everyone. Now, I just like to open it up for just a moment, see if there are any questions before I make some final comments. Let's go back to the screen and see if there's any specific questions from any of you that I might be able to answer before I go to my last comments. May I help anyone in particular with something that's on your mind? You can chat, Jeff, let me know. We can take just 2 minutes maybe for Q&A.
Yeah, that would be great. I want to introduce a new friend I met in the breakout room, Shannon McGraw. Shannon, are you there? Hey, Shannon.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but this is just so incredibly timely. Would you share with everybody what your ministry is all about, and you have the opportunity to ask Jill anything you want about trying to get this on, the news media.
Oh, absolutely. So I'm the founder of Hopeful Hearts Ministry. We work with adult women and men who have been mentally, physically, sexually, emotionally abused in their past. But right now, what we're working through and what we're dealing with, there's so many, since we're in lockdown and shelter in place, so many, women specifically are living with their abuser. I mean, men too, to be honest with you. There is domestic violence amongst women against men as well. So we've just found that there's an influx of those coming to our Facebook page, just seeking that support. We do online peer-to-peer support, and we do empowerment programs. So we're offering some of those on Hopeful Hearts Ministry on Facebook. So all of you are welcome to go there as well. Breathing techniques and that sort of thing. But it's just difficult because they don't have anywhere to go. And so we're just offering that ear, offering that shoulder. And then we also created a separate Facebook page, private group for women only called Lockdown Ladies. And it's not just for survivors of abuse, it's for everybody. And it's growing tremendously. So I just want to put that out there. So with that being said, Jeff and I were just talking about being able to get into the media and be able to talk about this and let people know about the resource that we have out there.
So Shannon, thank you. And thank you for the beautiful work you're doing. There's a couple things I want to say about this. Remember in the beginning, I was talking about how do you use everything you've got, right? There are people in relationships who are absolutely suffering, and that's a reality. So even though, my relationship coaches are going out, how do you deal with this spouse that you've never lived with before, meaning everybody's in work and in meetings and doing their life. How do you live with an abuser? And what can you do if you're in this relationship right now? And here's some resources for you. You be that person to provide those resources and start going out, start blogging about this, start putting it out there on podcasts. You're the one who people are going to look to for this. And congratulations for doing that. That's very beautiful work. Thank you. Jeff, is there one more?
I appreciate that.
You're welcome, Shannon. My pleasure.
let's open it up to the room. Wave if you have a question for Jill.
Hey, Terry Hill does.
Yes, Jill, my question is, I'm in an industry that is incredibly competitive. I'm in the financial planning industry. And I guess my question is, maybe you can give me some ideas on how to, set myself apart from everyone else, because whenever I tell someone I'm a financial advisor, they put me in a box and they think we all do the same thing, which isn't true. So any
Right.
thoughts on that at all?
Yes. Absolutely, and thank you for asking. And I know you have certain compliance issues also, but here's the deal. People are shifting income, and by the way, the money has not left the planet. Some people will make more money in this time than ever before, and I think that's really important. And so as you're looking at how to put your name out there, what I would do is start giving people, here's some great things to do in today's times to set yourself up for financial success later. Here's some things to do right now to make it through an economic bump, right? And so be a resource. This is my big message for all of you. Be a resource, be a giver, be the value and benefit driven business who is giving to others so that everyone can benefit from you. I think that'd be a great way to start. Jeff, let's do one more. And then Mary Beth, also in the chat, would you let people know how they can connect to me? And certainly happy to help deeper in any ways. And at the end, I'll also let you know how you can also work with me. Jeff, is there another question?
Anyone raise your hand if you have a question for Jill. This is a great opportunity. She usually charges for this.
I think Michelle MacArthur has one. Michelle MacArthur has one.
And I see Lynn and Sandra D.
Yes, good morning. This is Michelle MacArthur, and thank you so much for all of your knowledge and everything that you're sharing. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, great.
Absolutely.
What you can help too, as far as Jill, with I'm representing a wonderful Brazilian churrascaria steakhouse, and right now, just not only all the restaurants, but hospitality industry in general has taken a complete just nosedive. What suggestions would you give for the restaurant that's doing takeout, curbside pickup, delivery, catering when some homes want to have that done, or even just the meals so they can cook it at themselves? All over social media.
Yes.
How would you recommend to really get, because the business, the restaurant still is really hurting right now and needing orders?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So here's the thing. We want to put out a local message, support your local business. Here's how you can help. Here's how you can connect, make your own meals. Here's some things to consider when you take out. Like, you be that person who is telling people what to do, how to connect, how to be healthy with takeout. Here's some things to consider. Like, start doing that. I think that would be a really super message. And then encouraging people. I'm seeing even on my Nextdoor app, people will start saying, hey, go to this restaurant and connect to this restaurant and keep buying takeout, right? So support local. I'm buying gift certificates from my local Indian restaurant that I love, so that when I'm able to eat there, I'll use that. So be a provider of reasons why people can still eat out, we'll call it. And by the way, I'm doing still tons of takeout, and how to stay safe in takeout. Like, you could play both sides. And I think that would be really good for you.
Okay, great. I do consulting, and so that you've given me some great ideas as far as not only just with the restaurant, but being able to share that across the board. So thank you.
Beautiful. You're so welcome. Sandra D, nice to see you. What's your question? Oh, you're on mute.
All right, there we go. I didn't think you were going to get to me. So hello, beautiful. Good to see you. You are so valuable today. Thank you. You always have such great stuff. So like tons of applause for you.
Thank you.
Friend.
Thank
I thought
you.
this might be a question that people would have, because getting on podcasts, guesting on radio shows, things like that is a great thing to do, great time to do that. But if there is a way that we think, gosh, you know, even getting on local media. So I'm here in Austin, so there's several local Austin channels that would highlight people in the community at this time if there's a good message. Do you have to know somebody personally in order to get through to those local channels? What's your advice?
So thank you. And, you know, podcasts are fabulous. You can put in keywords through iTunes for what you consult on, what your business is, and find podcasts that way. Great way to do it. You do not need to know people. No, because the truth is they're here to serve you and their community of listeners and viewers. They want great guests. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm looking at great guests as I scan the screen. And those of you can actually put your message in right now and be visible right now, or plan for the future. So absolutely, you don't quote unquote have to know people, although certainly I've seen some chats going through with Sandra, with Jeff, with Sandra, you've got some great people right here in your network who know a lot of people. So absolutely tap Success North Dallas Network, right? And see who knows who. And I want to say to you, you don't need to know anyone to get great publicity. You just need to have the right pitch, which I gave you an excellent formula for beginning that pitch right now in simple ways. Thank you for asking that.
Thank you.
You bet. And let's see, I think, Bill, in terms of timing, let's maybe do one more question. I'll do final comments. Does that work for you? Let me check in with Bill here for a moment.
That works for me. Can you hear me?
That's beautiful. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you.
No,
Perfect.
thank you, Jill. Who has the last question?
Well, I saw Lynn with her hand up, unless someone else is waving.
Lynn O'Neill.
So I'm part of a new organization called Entrepreneurs on the Move. And among other things, we are scheduling a virtual march on Washington to emphasize the importance of small business as an economic driver. And I know everybody talks about it, but I think a lot of people just flat forget the extent to which small business is the core of this economy. So I'm real interested if there is any way that you would particularly recommend to meet up with some of the top congressional leaders, either party, or independents, it doesn't matter. But what would be your suggestion in terms of getting close to them, actually meeting them and seeing how we can help them? How we can help them help us too.
Yeah, so I would tend to connect to communications people, PR people within that congressional leader's office. You know, one thing I'll tell you, when you want to reach people, the PR people inside of companies are great people to reach out to, because frankly, they want, well, good PR for their companies, good PR for their representatives. So I would reach out to them first, whoever's handling communications for that person, for that representative, and tell them what you're doing, engage with them. And so here's the thing I want to just also share with all of you. You always have to speak in what I call you language. So it's not about your project per se, but it's about how your project serves, impacts, and gives value and benefit to others. That's really a key. And so I just want you to keep that in your mind, in your heart, in your speaking, and use you language. It'll make a really big difference for all of you. And so that's really important. And then also be using, you know, Facebook Live in this time to connect and communicate to people. Know that there, like Sandra D and I were talking about, multiple podcast opportunities of people really looking for your visibility and what you offer. And so I really want you to keep your message out there and keep saying yes to you. And I hope that helped, Lynn. Jeff, should I do some final comments, or what you're thinking? Is that good?
Yeah, I think this is a good time to wrap it up. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. So first of all, I really want to thank all of you for keeping your vision, for staying focused, for knowing that this is your moment. Mary Beth, go ahead and show the screen, because one thing I'd like to say is you have to just say yes. No matter what the media asks you, you must just say yes. Just say yes. I love to say that. And what I'd like to do is just offer you an opportunity to continue to go deeper on this subject. I actually give a publicity course. It's a virtual class. And I, like all of you, have moved everything online. I was actually going to be in Dallas for this class, but guess what? We're going to do it virtually. And let me share with you that in this class, we're going to go deep. We're going to roll up our sleeves and give you personalized attention in an intimate setting so that we craft your message. We write the press release, we write the bio. I go through every piece of how to do your publicity, no kidding, so that your publicity gets done. And we're actually going to do 3 documents in the course, and you'll have 4 templates you can use for any project anywhere. So I'd really like to support that you are going to get your publicity done. We're not just going to talk about it, we're going to do it. I've got several dates coming up. Mary Beth, would you be so kind to put those up on the screen? And oh, thank you, Sandra D. She's recommending my training. And we've got several dates coming up, which is April 30th. Mary Beth's going to put them in there, and also the chat. Thank you, Dagmar, for your nice comment about the course. And I know I've actually had Elliot Joseph in the course. He's a Success North Dallas member too. So Mary Beth, the dates, and confirm it with me as you're putting them up there, are April 30th. And I think we've got May 6th coming up, and she's going to put the dates right up there. So go ahead.
Jill, we can get that out to everybody.
Perfect.
Not a
Perfect.
problem
Thank you
at
so
all.
much. And what I'd like to do, just to tell you all, like if you went to publicitycrashcourse.com, and please do, there's lots of good stuff on there. I normally offer the course at $12.97, and I'm doing pandemic pricing. So I'm offering you what normally is my bring a friend rate of $197. Literally only $197. So the code you use is stay visible, all lowercase, stay visible, case sensitive, and that will expire on Friday. We might keep a little longer, Bill, depending on if you're sending it out to folks. But it's it'd be my pleasure to support you, to connect you so that your publicity gets done. And I want to really leave you with the very important message, is that your message matters. It's been a pleasure to be here with you today, to support you in getting your message out. And I'm excited to keep your message out there so that your flag keeps waving. Thank you, everyone.
Well, Jill, thank you. If you were here in person, I'd be able to hand this to you. But just as a thank you gift to Success North Dallas, the book is The Nature of Excellence, and it's by Lee and Lee and Julie Colton. And this book was first given to me by Colleen Barrett, the COO of Southwest Airlines, when she retired, and it's what she gave to the entire board of directors. And some of you know Herb Kelleher was my mentor, and Herb Kelleher is why I started Success North Dallas. And then I got a gift. The speaker, Jill, actually gave me her book, The Profit of Kindness. And having flipped through it and looked at it, this is, if you don't do her course or do virtual stuff, Jeff Crilley's right here in the marketplace. If you haven't read this book is really good. I flipped through it and scanned it, and I could have gotten 20 quotes out of it. So, Jill, thank you for this. This was
You're so welcome.
This was a sweet, sweet gift. And, upcoming meetings, I want to talk about what we've got coming up. I'm going to run through a few things very quickly. But on May the 20th, Daniel Moon is our speaker. And the topic is the evolution of an entrepreneurial family. Well, this is Sam Moon's corporation. A lot of people think Sam Moon just has some stores. He owns several hotels, a golf course, a golf club, a development. And so we're going to follow this the week after with a happy hour hosted by Sam Moon, Daniel Moon, and David Moon at their Coyote Ridge development. So our next meeting is the third Wednesday of May, the 20th. Hopefully we'll be back in the room. Maybe not, we'll be virtual. That's good too. Also, we're working with Dr. Ben Carson for a special event. Ben spoke to us when he was running for president, actually. Quite an impressive man. And Ross Perot Jr., Jerry Jones, but back to Daniel Moon and David Moon. I have to thank, again, Jenny Culver, CEO of Culver Public Relations, for helping us put this together. This was fabulous. Upcoming special events. We're going to do first ever Success North Dallas Town Hall meeting. And in this town hall meeting, it's going to be titled The Perfect Storm, Navigating Through the Turbulence During Disruptive and Monumental Times of Change. It's going to be moderated by Dr. Gerald Turner. He'll have 3 panelists. Let me tell you a little bit about Gerald Turner, just to wet your whistle. 25 years, he served on numerous executive advisory councils and committees to develop analytical models for emergency preparedness, disaster response and recovery, business continuity, natural disasters, and infectious diseases. He has worked on SARS, MERS, H1N1, Zika, Ebola, and now COVID-19. This guy is the guy that rewired Puerto Rico after their disaster and brought power back. And he also is one of the 18 that were sequestered at MIT Johns Hopkins studying this COVID-19 for the government for 4 or 5 weeks. He was up there. And so I think this will be a meeting. This is going to occur 2 weeks from today, virtual, 8 a.m. right here. So don't miss it. On May 1st, Randy Mayhew, are you out there?
Hi, Bill. Thank you very much. And on May 1st, we're doing a second remote meeting of the First Friday book synopsis. We're going to do The Catalyst by Jonah Berger, How to Change Anyone's Mind. But the book that I'm really excited about is The Innovation Stack by Jim McKelvey. He is the co-founder of Square. He started that with Jack Dorsey, who also started something called Twitter. And it is a book about how to find a perfect problem and the solution. So I'll present 2 synopses at 7:30, and you'll be able to find the Zoom information on our blog at 15minutebusinessbooks.com. Bill, thank you very much.
And we will be sending an announcement out to all about that as well. The 2 most important meetings that occur in Dallas, Texas, and North Texas every month are Success North Dallas and the First Friday book synopsis. Not that I'm prejudiced, but I don't miss this if I'm in Dallas. There's no question about it.
And I don't miss this, so thank you.
Thank you, Randy. And I'm going to wet your whistle again in August. Now, we're doing happy hours and other things between now and August. We'll do May 27th, we'll do Daniel Moon, the Moon family at Coyote Ridge. And in August, Lincoln Experience at the Star in Frisco are hosting us for a happy hour. And they're using this happy hour to kick off what we hope to be the NFL Cowboys season. We understand there'll be some Cowboys there, some tickets, and more. So if you're not on our mailing list, you won't be in the know. And we're doing another first, because Success North Dallas does a lot of things other than just having the meeting on the 3rd Wednesday. We do stuff out in the community. We help kids in school. We do a lot of things. And we've never done this before. But if you'd like to make a donation as we go through these troubled times, we would be greatly appreciative of that. So please go to our website, and under membership, you'll find a link. It's called Donate. That's it. Go to the membership, click on that, then go to Donate, and there's a blank amount. Whatever works for you, 0. We suggest 20, more, fine, because it's all about our fellow men and women. And, you know, when we talk about be a success in your own eyes, honor your commitments, and be a giver, that's when we say it's all about our fellow men and women. And if you really enjoyed the meeting, this is what I hope you do. We encourage you to join. Annual dues are $345. That's all 12 meetings, the Preston Wood Buffet. First-time guests, your first-time guests, are always welcome and free. And if you join now, we're going to do the same thing for you that we're doing for our members. We're going to extend the membership 2 months. So your membership would go through June of 2021, because we know we're in some troubled times. The same additional 2-month consideration that we're giving to our current members. It's easy, it's simple. Just go to become a member, upper top right-hand corner. That's right or left, whatever, right hand. There's a tab, it says become a member, and it'll walk you right through it. Finally, we do something at every meeting called special introductions, where we ask any in transition to stand and give their name and discipline only. Then we ask anyone in the room that has an idea for these people or a need to come down and visit with them afterwards. And we apply that also to people in looking for a mentorship and new to Dallas. So if you are in transition, if you're looking for an internship, grab a picture of yourself. Give us your name, give us your discipline, and write 2 or 3, 4 sentences about yourself. Not a resume, not a vita, not a dissertation. Just 3 to 4 sentences about yourself with your contact information, and send that to us at info@successnorthdallas.com. And to be very clear, by you sending that to us gives us permission to send this out to our list to see if anyone has any ideas or needs, and have them reach back out to you. If you'd like to do this, we'd be honored to send your information out. I know it's tough times, and we'll do everything that we can to help. And another first that we've never done before, Jan Claudner will be sending out a link to all attendees to the video of this meeting. So you'll have that. If you need to go back and find out something Jill said, something Jeff said, something I might have said too, who knows, or about Randy, it will be there for you to use. So in closing, first, my huge thanks for every one of you participating in our first ever virtual meeting. I look forward to seeing you in May. Bring one person, bring another person, bring a couple of 3 guests. It will be fabulous. It will absolutely be fabulous. And we close like this. May you do what you love to do with people you love to do it with, while practicing social distancing on purpose. God bless and Godspeed. Now some virtual networking. Let's have some fun. Who's out there who wants to talk? And we're going to do this for the next 20 minutes. So jump on board. Thank you all, and God bless. This has been fabulous. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jan.
You're welcome. All right,
Wanted to let you, oh, go ahead.
Thanks,
I want to
Bill.
let you guys know that at the bottom of the chat.
I'm in the middle of
Okay, Misty has the floor. Misty has the floor.
Thank you. I just wanted to let everybody know at the bottom of the chat, in the little square with the 3 dots, if you click there, you can actually save the chat.
calculating these myself, and having any questions.
All right.
Yeah, I'll call you, but I think I can see.
Who's on the phone?
Yeah.
All right, I see Susan Foster out there. I see Dagmar.
You want to get over here and do something?
Yes. Okay. Okay. I will.
Just talking to people.
Okay. Bye.
All right, who has something to say?
Bill,
Yes.
I can leave it up or I can leave it.
can I put a text in the chat about all of us being able to connect. So either, send a list so that we can see who all was on the call and connect, and be able to help send them referrals, or, help each other market.
For me to do that, I need permission from everybody here. So we don't normally share information, but if that's what you would like us to do, and if anybody objects to that. No objections?
No.
We'll see what we can do. That's not a practice we've ever done before, but we're doing a lot of firsts this time. Who knows? I might not even wear a tie next time.
Yeah.
Bill, I would say that if you do that, just remind people no spamming.
No spamming and no
Yes.
selling.
Yeah.
We don't
Yes.
sell.
That's right.
As a rule, we do not sell. You know, when we started Success North Dallas, it's kind of fun. We said no coins, straight hands in the temple. One of my friends said that. So if you do, reach out to them to help, not to sell. And also, all of our members are listed on the website, and they have you have the ability to contact them through our website as well.
Bill, are we going to be receiving the information on Jill's class from you guys?
We can post
do
that. Like I said, we normally do not sell. We never have before. This is another first, but
I believe
sure.
I believe
I'm
the
not
information's in the chat.
It's in the chat, but if you
Yes.
need it and email it to us, email me, we will get that to you. Yes,
Excellent.
absolutely.
It's in the chat and also it's on her website too, so.
Excellent. And I've talked to some people that have taken her course, and it's excellent.
Thank
Who
you.
else?
I just wanted to say thank you. I thought she did a fantastic job. I really enjoyed your presentation.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure.
Also, if somebody else has a question for Jill right now, this could be a time to ask that question too.
Just a real quick one, Jill. Where are you from in the Bay Area? That's where I'm originally from, so I'm just curious.
Oh, I'm in Novato, California.
Oh, yeah. Very good. Very good.
But I'm a Michigander originally, now living in Northern California.
Okay. Well, I'm originally from San Jose, so.
Nice.
Wonderful.
I'm going to ask Jim Ratchford. Jim Ratchford runs Texas Concilium, and Michelle Pearson's been working with him on some things. But Jim, you've got a huge event coming up. You want to tell us about it?
It looks like he left the meeting.
He did. I was looking at his picture and it disappeared. Oh, well.
Hey, Bill, Tom Meyer.
Tom Meyer didn't ask a question.
Well, I felt bad that I hadn't asked a question yet, but I'd like to ask, what's the one thing she'd like us to take away and focus on after listening to all this good stuff this morning? Because I think focus is one of the really difficult things right now.
So thank you for asking. What I want you to focus on particularly is carving that message out, getting clear on that so that you can speak it simply no matter what's going on, and no matter what the environment is outside or the chaos, or it doesn't matter because you are clear and you stand strong in your message. I think that is the most powerful piece you can go forward with, and a great focus for you.
I love something I just saw on Twitter. Jill, use you language when speaking about getting publicity in the community, city, state, and nationwide, says Jill Loveland. Your message matters. There's several hundred, maybe even more than that, posts on Twitter about the meeting this morning. So all of you that have been doing that, thank you.
That's awesome.
Susan Foster, I want to know about your new
wonderful.
book. Susan Foster,
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you and I see your picture.
Susan.
Well, hello. I didn't dress for the party, so I didn't know. That was really cool, Bill. This was awesome. I'm honored to be on this first experience. And the breakout sessions were really cool, although I think I talked more than everybody else. But anyway, I'll be quiet next time. But that was really awesome.
My dear blonde friend comes through again. Tell us about your new book.
Well, thank you, Bill. My book is Charming Impossibles. Charm is their lure, their facade, and impossible to please is their method toward domination and control. And they're in offices and politics and our families. They're everywhere. And we don't know we can't see what we don't know. And so hopefully this book will bring awareness to their methods. And it's through sharing my story of dealing with one and getting out of a marriage with one that I realized this happened as much to men as to women. And it's a much more common problem and affects our society. And right now with COVID-19 isolation, it's a very big concern that this domestic violence is on the rise, child abuse is on the rise, and sadly, this is a very current message. But it launched April 7th, and I'm thrilled so far with how it's the success of the sales already.
And I believe you said it was picked up nationally by several people. So
Yes, it's
Bill,
selling.
can I add something?
Please.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. May I add something? Because I'm so excited about this. First of all, congratulations. Second of all, remember we were talking about, I think it was to Lynn or one of the other lovely women at the meeting here, and you have a mess. Thank you. Yes. You have a message right now that is key. There are people in quarantine in abusive relationships. What do you do? Be that resource. Be that resource. And then I want to, again, just advise you, anyone with books or anyone with even a product, as you're saying it, hold that book up to your face, right? And as you're talking, particularly on Zoom, you want to be doing things like that so that you're driving that recognition of your product and your book. Very important, easy to do, and a great thing for all of you.
Thank you, Jill. I appreciate that. Next time I won't be
welcome.
Well, you can set your book up and then and put that on video, not necessarily yourself.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
And I'll do this. I'll hold my book up.
Yeah, hold your book up, Bill.
This book has gone
Excellent.
crazy. Being a Catalyst for Success, The Fulfilling Life of the Servant Leader. It's an Amazon #1 bestseller. Mitchell Levy helped me to write this. And Mitchell Levy was our speaker at our December meeting. And as you'll see it coming out shortly, but at our December meeting, we, the members in the room, wrote a book, which is amazing. So we've done some really crazy things.
Well,
Anyway.
Bill, you are the ultimate servant leader, and I'm so grateful to you. I've known you 10 years, and you are a big reason why this book has happened. So I love you and I appreciate you.
I love you too, and
I know that Shelley.
We've walked some roads together, that's for sure.
Yes, we have. Indeed, we have.
Hey, Bill, I noticed Shelley's got a book up too she wanted to show.
Well, jump in.
Where's your book, Shelley?
Well, it's not my book, but my bosses wrote it, Dr. Rachel M.K. Headley and Meg Mankey. It's called IX Leadership, Create High Five Cultures and Guide Transformation.
Cool. And,
yeah.
And I
if you work with people, it's a really good book to read.
If you're looking for organizational understanding and management understanding, it's probably one of the best books out there. Meg Mankey and Dr. Rachel Hadley, I know very, very well. I met them through C-Suite and Hero Club. Rachel was a NASA engineer and worked on all of the spacecraft things during her time. And she's seen things that none of us have seen, and she and Meg put it into practice. Shelley, I'm glad you're with us. I'm glad you said that.
Here.
And when you see Rachel and Meg, give them a hug. They're wonderful.
I will. I'm actually going to break quarantine and sneak to the office today because I missed them. I haven't seen them in 2 weeks.
Well, we'll see each other again very soon. Okay, who else?
Can I speak for a sec? Can you hear me?
Absolutely.
All right, want to make sure I was unmuted. Sandra D here. So, oh wait, hold on, Jill. Here we go. Doing as told.
Excellent.
Not covering up the front of the book. Everybody noticed that. I have never forgot that lesson. I shared this with every client I had. Don't put your hands over the book.
Yes.
I've known Jill for a long time. The lessons stick. But I do want to encourage people that may have any fear at all of stepping forward and doing a podcast if it says that there's video to it. You know, that was my first business was literally entitled Charisma on Camera. So if there's anything that I can do to help anybody here, my focus, as I said in our breakout session, is really at this point, I teach speakers, to master the stage at conferences. There are no conferences. So my business has definitely been affected, as many people's has. And one of the things that I can do is just go back to my roots. If there's anything that I can do to help people feel comfortable, and even with Zoom meetings, and I have to say, Bill, I don't know what kind of folks you have here that are so smart most of these people look really good on their Zoom compared to some of the meetings that I've been in, right? Where you can't see somebody's face or they don't even put the camera on. So I want to commend the group for actually being a little bit more on top of it than most, but there are things that you can do to help yourself look better. And this stuff that I'm offering is free. So I put something, I can put up a link again, but I put up a little something for a free webinar I did. It's only 30 minutes to help you look better on Zoom. But honestly, reach out. I won't charge anybody if you just want to have a quick, 30-minute call. If there's something that's holding you back, I want you to step forward and use everything that Jill has. So in support of her, definitely take her up on her training. If there's anything that I can do to help you do that, let me know.
Sandra, could we possibly work together and do a Success North Dallas Zoom video and have you host that?
Yeah.
Zoom training?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, happy to do that.
Because staying visible and relevant in troubled times is not easy.
No.
For a lot of people. Some people it's a snap, but it's not easy. With Jill, with Jeff Crilly, with you, I think there's some great things we can do. I see Michelle Pearson's with us, and Michelle is helping Jim Ratchford with the Texas Concilium. Michelle, would you tell us about what's going to happen in the fall? Because this is pretty cool.
It is cool. Thank you, Bill. I appreciate it. And thank you, Jill. This was excellent. I enjoyed your presentation. I'm motivated and to say yes, it's awesome. So this has been fantastic. So yes, we have an event that was scheduled in May, obviously is postponed to October 26th. And we are celebrating the Business Excellence Award. We have 60 nominees of businesses all over the state of Texas. Texas Concilium is an economic development company. And so we are celebrating in October. Whoever wins this, we are interviewing at Real News Network with Jeff Crilly. Him and his team, Derek, is doing an amazing job interviewing the nominees. And so last year, Jerry Jones with the Dallas Cowboys was honored as the Lifetime Achievement Award. And so this year we're celebrating a whole bunch of companies. We're going to choose whoever is the top Business Excellence Award. So Norm Miller with Interstate Batteries is going to be there. Drew Pearson is going to be there, and we have a number that we're working with that will be there. So it's going to be excellent.
And we will be sponsoring that through Success North Dallas. We'll also be sponsoring another event in August with David Hamilton and the Magellas Awards. In fact, some of you know Maggie Magellas, and I'm sad to tell you that 103 passed away 2 days ago. But we've been doing the Magellas Award for the last 5 or 6 years. So there's some really fabulous events coming up that Success North Dallas is sponsoring and that we're involved with. And Michelle, thank you. And by the way, Michelle is always at our front desk at our registration here at Success North Dallas and has just been a tremendous asset for us. So I've got takeaways from Sandra D now that we're going to do something. Jeff Crilly has a show twice a day. If you have an idea for him, reach out to him. Jeff, who's your ideal guest right now?
Oh gosh, anybody who can speak to news you can use during the pandemic. I feel like I've had a lot of different leadership experts on and mental health experts and people who are just giving advice to people on how to navigate this new normal.
Hey, Jeff, this is Susan.
Hey, Susan, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. I'd like to talk to you. I need to connect with you.
Yeah.
I think the book is really relevant, and I'd like to talk to you about your show, but also about just some things that maybe you can help me with. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Jeff, also my business partner Brian Clark, needs to catch up with you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Just jot him down too. And maybe Sandra D and I make a good panel together on
Yeah, you would.
networking during, staying relevant during troubled times. Who knows?
I love that.
That
Yeah,
could be a
staying
fun
connected.
thing to do. Who else out there has an idea?
Sandra, I want to say thank you for your offer because I've got your email. I'll email you.
Awesome. Awesome. Congratulations on your book.
And
Perfect.
Susan, you need to
Yes.
get with Michelle, Hopeful Heart Ministries. And
Shannon.
Shannon. If you
Yeah, I
haven't gotten
definitely
with
want
her-
to.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill, would you get me her contact or I don't know how to get that from her. But yeah. Oh, I'll go to her. Never mind. I got it. Hopeful Heart.
Hi, Bill. It's Taylor.
Hey, Taylor. How are you?
Hi. Doing great. Great to hear everybody and see everybody. Congratulations on another phenomenal meeting and fantastic content. As a public relations person, Jill, I love your content and what you've shared.
Thank you.
I wanted to share that I'm also willing to volunteer. Similar to what Sandra D is doing, I'm helping speakers get more visibility, and I've got several online resources that are available to help them increase their visibility during these times. We're partnering with MPI and NSA, and so I'd love to jump in and participate.
Taylor, send me a link to those if you would, please.
Okay, I sure will.
That would be great. That would be great indeed.
Bill, can you hear me? This is Gerald.
Yes.
Hello, hello. How's everybody?
This is the guy in 2 weeks that's going to rock your boat.
Well, hopefully rock us out of this malaise, if you will. Anyway, just wanted to send a shout out to a very wonderful friend of mine, Jeff Curley, who I see is still online. And Jeff, check out your text messages. I was one of the best individuals back in 2003 that received one of your first books, if you will, first of many to be distributed, called Free Publicity, autographed and everything right off the press. But anyway, Jill's presentation, and Jill, if you're still online, awesome.
I'm here.
I was able to catch. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Thank
You
you.
reminded me, I see the Guerrilla Publicity book behind you, and it reminded me of Jeff's book that he published and presented and kindly autographed, if you will, for many people back in 2003, 2004. So Jeff, thank you so much. Appreciate it. And then Jill, keep on keeping on, lady. You're doing well.
Mwah. Absolutely.
the
Bless
shout-out.
you.
Gerald,
And Jeff's book is great.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's very
Gerald,
kind.
I still give away Jeff's book, but I have a funny story. I gave Jeff's book to Huntley Payton, who was at that time publisher of the Dallas Business Journal, when we had lunch on a Friday afternoon. He called me up on Sunday and he said, "I want to thank you for ruining my weekend." And I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, you ruined my weekend. I read the book twice and I couldn't understand why I didn't write that book." And he's used it as a Bible ever since. Yeah, it's just, those are the little things that happen. And I remember taking a case of them down to Southwest Airlines, and we had some fun with that. That was great. Who else has a meeting coming up or a book that they would like to mention?
And remember, if you're going to do the book, we want to see it. What Sandra D was referencing is always put a book right next to your face and tilt it a little bit, because on Zoom, we often get some glare going on. So you want to tilt it just a little bit forward slightly so that the glare is released on camera. And as Sandra also pointed out, that I've taught her, don't cover up your name on the book. That's really important too. Bill, you were showing something?
Bill, Gerald again, you still there?
Yeah.
Okay, just a real quick addendum, if you will, to your promo about our event on the 29th of April. We've got 3, in my opinion, world-class experts, if you will, that are going to be joining our panel on that session. So that's going to be a first that we've done in this case as well, too, that are going to be addressing, if you will, how businesses can continue to grow and develop during these difficult times, which is the result, or pretty much the spinoff from the topic for that session, for that panel session on the 29th of April. So hopefully everybody will attend. It's going to be really fired up and exciting and so forth, but hope everybody's still on. We'll bring your questions, issues, things that you'd like for the panel to address, and we'll just move on from there. Thank you, Bill.
Excellent. Hey, I see Susan Foster's probably laying down on the floor and just holding the book up above her head. But there's her book.
There it is.
And the
Right.
title
Yay.
So obviously I'm not technologically inclined, but that's going to change. I can grow.
I think we learned something else for our Success North Dallas folks. This is not a Zoom call to come to in your pajamas.
Yeah.
Because everybody seems to be getting on screen. But
Yeah.
so
Now I know.
there you go. There you go. Is Lynn
Hey,
O'Neill
Bill.
still with us? Lynn O'Neill, are you still with us? I guess she's gone. I know she had a Goldman Sachs cohort.
Hey,
Tom
Bill.
Allen.
Hey, yeah, Bill, I'm speaking at the C-suite professional about the topic is how entrepreneurs should run their business. And I'm speaking on it because, you know, I've been in multiple startups and I just want to let everybody know kind of what worked, what didn't work, and kind of give them a framework how you might actually come out the other end successfully.
And where are you doing this?
At the C-suite professional. It's going to be a Zoom meeting. Paul Whitley's doing it. So I'm going to do my very first presentation as a Zoom, kind of like this. And you've done a great job with this one. I was watching this. I kind of want to see how this would come off. And this really has worked out well. Do you know Paul Whitley?
I do.
Thomas Gerald, when is your meeting?
It's the May the 7th. What I need to do is, if it's at the same time, it'll be 5:30 to 7:30. And what I need to do is once he gets it settled down, Bill, I can send you the information and you can send it out.
Right. Right. Because right now we want to be a resource. A lot of you can't get out. And it's just one of those things that we need to do, which is very simple. Randy has his hand up.
Bill, this is Randy. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to comment that I have been hired by some companies and organizations to do some synopses remotely, and they're especially interested in books on intrinsic motivation and how to get things done when you have to be a self-starter. Everybody is worried about that. So I'm presenting Drive by Daniel Pink tomorrow, and I'm presenting Getting Things Done by David Allen, which is the Bible on time management, but it's really a book on how to get things done on your own. And I'm doing that for a company tomorrow and for MBA students at SMU today. And I'm also doing the Checklist Manifesto later this month. But my point is that people are really concerned about internal motivation and self-starting needs in this moment of self-isolation. So that's kind of interesting.
I completely agree with you, Randy. That is a very timely.
That's excellent. Debbie McAdams, I know you're in your pajamas because we don't see your picture. Unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. And yes, I'm in my pajamas.
Very interesting thing going on. It's called Cleaning for a Reason, and ISS Charities. But this group is, their goal for the next 12 months or the next year is to clean 1 million homes of cancer patients for free. So Debbie, you want to say a couple of words?
Yes, sir. Well, yes, we have been working on a pilot program. Although we clean over 5,000 patients' homes a year, and we'll never stop doing that and hoping that that will also increase. We've started a new program in the Dallas-Fort Worth area where we currently clean anywhere from 100 to 200 homes and have been for many years, but we want to increase that to at least 5,000. There's probably more than 5,000, but that's kind of what our goal is. Within the next 1 to 2 years, we would love to be able to get that number up there. And I keep telling people, well, are you changing your focus? I said, no, we'll always continue to do what we've been doing. We just want to be able to start this program here in the DFW area. And once we get that accomplished, then we're going to go to Houston. We're going to do the same thing there. We want to increase that to a minimum of 5,000 patients per year. And then we, in order to do that, though, we do have to raise money. And so that's kind of one of my focuses now. I do all the recruiting, but I also am the director of external relations. So I'm out there meeting with companies and corporations, you know, asking for them to become partners with us and help us to grow. We have so many, we just have so many things that we have to do to be able to take that step. We have to increase our employees. We have to hire probably another 20 or 30 employees just for the Dallas location. And we're working towards that. And, you know, I'm reaching out to anyone that has some money in their back pocket that want to help us accomplish that task. But, you know, the cancer patients, they just don't go away. The number is getting larger and larger. We currently sit on about 100,000 patients today. And that's been probably the last couple of years. And, you know, we're trying to help as many as we can, but, you know, until we start getting these programs started so we can put that focus on the certain area instead of just cleaning all over the United States. But the patients come to us. We don't have to go find them. And we're always looking for MAID services as well.
All right, well, I think we've got everything, everything. Oh, we got a hand up there, Kathleen.
Yes, I wanted to let everyone know, since Jim Ratchford wasn't in, I posted his town hall meeting, which is coming up at 10 o'clock today. And it has Senator, it's about the CARES Act and the SBA relief. And so Senator John Cronin is going to be on the town hall meeting. So I put the link on the chat, so if anybody wanted to do that. So since Jim had left the call, I wanted to make sure everyone knew that was there.
Great.
I have one more question for Jill.
Go ahead.
Okay, Jill, so where you have the problem is, and you fill in the blank, and then you offer the 3 solutions, is this how you format every time you speak?
So here's what it is great for. When you're being interviewed, fabulous to go right to it. A lot of my clients actually absolutely use it for networking and have been very effective at it. And then additionally, use it on your social media. I had a speaker actually who's an emotional intelligence expert in Australia use this, and we were able to carve his message very powerfully, and he got 250 likes that day when he posted it. So I'm going to encourage you to use and reuse this. For you, it will start to feel a bit repetitive, and don't worry about that. Just keep reusing it, because what it'll do is identify you as an expert who is consistent with messaging and powerful in your speaking. I'm sure you've noticed, for all of you, that I'm pretty concise in my answers to you. That's years of media training that, you know, when you got 3 or 4 minutes on a major Fox News show, as an example, to get to the point, you got to get to the point quickly. So that's just something really important. But I do encourage you to use it everywhere you can. Use it everywhere you can.
Yeah. There you go.
Thank you.
Dagmar had a question, I think.
Yes, thank you. Well, we were sharing the resources, and as you know, as a success mindset coach, I help business owners get through what's holding them back, especially now in the time of reframing and redirecting. So I just wanted to offer a free resource, and that is a free training that I'm doing on 3 mindset hacks to take you from surviving to thriving and turn your set.
Great. Uh-oh, did you freeze up?
No, I'm back.
I see Bill's back, but Dagmar.
To come back, to bounce back, to access the training.
Thank you, Dagmar.
Hey, folks,
Bill's
and
back.
thank
He
you.
got dropped off again.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know what's going on with the computers here, but it is what it is. But thank you all very, very much. Anybody else have a comment or two to make?
I'm going to check out. Thanks, Bill. This has been wonderful.
Thanks,
you.
Randy.
Thank you.
Sandra wants to
Thank
say
you, Bill.
something.
Thank
Yeah, I just had one last thing to say in reference to something that Jill brought up, and I find this with my clients as well. I just wanted to kind of reiterate what she said. If you do go and get interviewed and you're going to be out doing, giving your message, you may feel, right, Jill, that you're doing this message and it's redundant because it's going to seem that way to you, but you're reaching different audiences every time.
Mm-hmm.
So it may feel like you're repeating yourself, and you may be, but it's a good thing.
Awesome.
Thank you, Sandra, for underlining that.
Yes, Sandra, Randy here. Boy, is that right. And one of the things I did academically was study the I Have a Dream speech by Dr. King. He had presented much of that speech at least once before, and probably 3 or 4 times before. And they didn't want him to repeat it in Washington, but he knew that most of the people had not heard that material yet. So that's really a profound insight. That's exactly right.
And I just want to add that I went to Jill's training and I wrote my 3 solutions at that training. And every time I used it at a networking function, I had immediate interest from people because it is so solution driven. So Jill, thank you for giving me that tip because I've been using it to the max.
It's my pleasure.
And I want to say something. This is the first time we've ever had a product or a price put out on Success North Dallas. And this is a time that if we don't stay relevant, if we don't stay visible, our businesses will close. We will close. And that's the reason we did it. And that's the reason the price is what it is. And if the price is a problem, well, call us. But this is something that we're doing. And like I said, if the price is a problem, we'll work something out. But it's so important right now. It's so important. So I want to pretty much close with that. Anybody else have any closing comments, any closing events or questions? Because we can stay on this for a while.
Bill, I want to just thank you for being the thought leader you are, for having vision to do this no matter what, to bless everyone in your group the way you do continuously with, you know, if you guys knew how much work they've all been putting into this, the hours and hours, he said it, but I just want to re-acknowledge you and what you do, your team and Jeff and Jan and all the people who serve. You know, you guys are tireless, and I just really thank you for the opportunity and for what you do for everyone else. Thank you.
Well, folks, reach out to Jill, reach out to Jeff Crilly, reach out to Sandra D. Robinson. You know, if you all ever watched Bold and Beautiful a few years back, you would have seen her on that. So she's not only a very accomplished speaker, she's an actress who drives up from Austin for our meetings, which is I'm honored to say that happens. We don't have any jets that have landed at Addison Airport this time, but we have had people on from all over the world. So with that, I want to say to everybody, unless somebody else wants to speak up now, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Congratulations.
Jan, Jill, thank
Have
you
a great
so
day,
much.
everybody.
Congratulations. It was awesome.
Congratulations.
I'm so impressed. And
Congratulations to the dynamic trio. Appreciate it.
Great job.
Thanks,
Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you so much.
we will see you 2 weeks from today at 8 a.m. with Dr. Gerald Turner, and we will see you hopefully in person, if not virtually, on May the 20th, and also on May the 27th at the Coyote Ridge Golf Club. And we will be going back to 12 Cuts for a happy hour, one of the best we've ever had once we get cleared, and we will have some more fun there as well. So Jeff Crilly, thank you. I see you there. Do you have something to add? And Doug, we thank you for coming. But ladies and gentlemen, may you do what you love to do with people you love to do it with.
while socially distancing, but do it on purpose. God bless and Godspeed, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, friends.
Bye.
Bye. Love you all. You're
Bye.
special.
See ya.
I get you.